We cheer the catch, and we boo the ref. We give one-star reviews, and we commend the chef. The radical proposal for this book is that the blameworthy artist is responsible in just the same way that the blameworthy thief is. We can be responsible for all kinds of different activities, from lip-syncing to long division, from murders to meringues. But the relation involved, what I'll call the basic responsibility relation, is the same in every case. We are responsible for the things we do first, then blameworthy or praiseworthy for having done them in the light of whether they're good or bad, according to a variety of standards. Why is this a radical proposal? Firstly, because so much of the contemporary literature on moral responsibility has moralized its nature. According to the vast majority of accounts, moral responsibility is either a special species of responsibility or else depends on moralized capacities. In contrast, I think that we get a more complete and unifying picture of responsible agency from a more general theory of responsibility. Secondly, the proposal is radical due to its drastic simplicity. I forego many of the complications that feature in other accounts of responsibility, arguing that we can make do with less demanding theoretical elements. The resulting account is exceedingly minimal, and yet I remain attached to its numerous virtues and explanatory strengths. An initial case study. Some years ago, I attended a performance of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, put on by my local orchestra. It's a favorite of mine, and a familiar one, especially that opening phrase, deservedly recognized as a masterpiece. That night, it was superbly performed by the orchestra. At its conclusion, there was a standing ovation that persisted for some time. There was also, if memory serves, a good bit of whistling, hooting, and a smidge of hurrahing. It struck me at the time that I was doing, at least, two separate things. One, I was applauding the orchestra, who had so admirably executed a wonderful piece of music. Two, I was standing in admiration of the piece of music itself, directing a claim at Beethoven, the composer. This seems to me to make perfect sense. The composition is amazing in its own right, and would remain so, even if a particular performance missed the mark. But the orchestra's performance is separable from the composition in the other direction as well. The symphony is inert until brought to life by the performance, and, as aficionados will tell you, there is much room for interpretation in an orchestral score. That the performance was so lovely was a credit to the orchestra and its members, quite apart from Beethoven's contribution. At this stage, I want to make but two brief points about this, dare I say, ordinary example. First, there are many different sorts of things for which we can be celebrated. Composing a great caprice, for instance, is one sort of thing. Performing that caprice is another. If one thinks about it, there isn't a whole lot that composition has in common with performance, and, of course, one can be a great performer without being a great composer, and vice versa. But our praise is not limited to great works of art. We are celebrated for our contributions at work, the cake we bake, and the shots we make. There is a great diversity to and broad range of things for which we are praised. These observations extend to the negative side of things as well. We are criticized for our cooking, our trip planning, and our mismanagement of money or time. There is no less diversity here. The second point I want to make is that there is also a wide and diverse range of ways in which we celebrate others. We applaud, but also hoot and holler. We fete. We write moving tributes. We smile. We cheer. We stand in awe, and we hand out trophies. Again, there isn't much that cheering has in common with handing over a bronze statuette, yet both are ways by which we give praise. Similar claims apply, again, to the negative side of things. We boo. We give negative